I am a somewhat functioning workaholic that has two identities in the professional world, and I like to attempt to try and balance them both and have a family and achieve some sort of balance of normalcy between all those things, and it is challenging. I was and still am a musician for 34 years, and it's not like I was touring and going all over the world and everything. It was one of these things where I tried to balance this out all the way back into high school, college, got a couple of degrees, and then became a property manager 22 years ago. And it became this strange balance of, hey, the bands don't have a place to record, we don't have a place to store equipment that's safe, or we don't have a place to rehearse, or we just don't have that 24-hour access, unwinding, settling, spread out sort of thing. So buying buildings was the solution at age 25, I believe, 24. And through that, the management of the buildings came involuntary, and then I became a fan of it. And because of it, it spurred my career here. And I started out in property management. It was very light, and then every year it just sort of ramped up. Music thing is over here, property management's over here, and then we had a really nasty market correction, and I decided to evaluate the landscape of what was going on out there, and because of it, I became a realtor.
Fabulous. Well, it's exciting to have you on today and to get to know a little bit more about you and hear your story. I'm going to put 5 minutes on the clock. Are you ready to shine?
I'm going to give it hell.
I hope so.
Yeah, that's planned.
So, first question. If you weren't in real estate, what would you be doing?
If I wasn't in real estate, I would dive into my degree that I acquired. I would finish that 1 year left I have to complete the master's program, and I would be everyone's therapist.
Oh my God, you as a therapist. That'd be fun.
Yes, sir. I would probably not see much of a difference from what I'm experiencing in the real estate world today if there was a couch over there and me over here.
What's your favorite venue that you played at?
In Wisconsin, I would have to say Summerfest. It's just all of the buildup, because you do all these experimental trial and error indoor venues, and they're all awesome in their same way, shape, or form. And they all have different things that are similar, things that are different. I'm close with a lot of venue owners, and we've got a real good seasoned dynamic, friendships. Some are real personal, some are just business, but they're all really good. But you get out of that spring cabin fever thing that's going on all year long, and it's like that Summerfest date. You're on typically a very large stage. Maybe you're in front of a national, one of the side stages. I have never played Marcus Amphitheater. I've been on that stage, I've never played it. But I mean, that's just a cool buildup. It's like the epitome of Milwaukee County. A lot of people come together. People come from all over the state. And then there's a couple of venues in Illinois that are pretty unbelievable also. Great built-in crowds. So between here and Chicagoland, between Summerfest, there's a place called Joe's on Weed right on North Avenue in Metro Chicago that's pretty spectacular also. So those two, Chicago and Milwaukee, those are the top ones.
What's something now that you wish you knew when you were newly licensed?
Great question. I believe that when the industry was trying to find itself again and trying to recover, I wish back, let's say 2008, 9, and 10, I wish that I was able to predict a trend that we've seen in the last 8 to 10 years. Myself had my hand on property or opportunities to buy properties that were then $30,000 that are now worth $250,000. So if I could have really identified a trend, if I would have studied more historically trends of economy and things like that, I think I would have accelerated quicker. But it was really, really hard to find out what was going to happen, what I'm supposed to tell the collective you as my client base. Because the questions back then were, is this something I'm going to be making a sound investment on? And the correction was so significant, and what I was experiencing was so, there was just, again, more questions than answers. I couldn't just say, oh, I think it's going to be this. You just got to trust me. Like, we have to establish trust, and I want to have long-term relationships that are business and friendship and that good mix. And so I honestly couldn't say, I don't guarantee anything. It was amazing. To take a listing in 2010 was not everyone's thing.
So what's one of the most rewarding parts of being in the real estate industry?
I would say the relationships are everything, really. I'm not sure if there's a realtor out there that has 100% success rate, but I mean, I try. I really do. I try and be available. I try and bring knowledge. I try and be an asset. I try and resonate with what KW has done. This platform, our company, our group has revolutionized what I've done in the business, because I came from an era where I had some confidence, some training, some experience, to a total 180 and then another 180. So I try and bring that to the table. I try and foster a long-term relationship where if I go anywhere, if I have a bandmate, a friend, a neighbor, a sports teammate, if we can engage in a quick conversation or a full-on meeting and we can gainfully have a back and forth that's rewarding to them, fulfilling to me, something, if you have the training and the knowledge and the trust is there and the relationship is there, I just continue nurturing of all of that.
How do you amp yourself up before a big gig?
Which gig? Real estate gig or music gig?
Let's say both.
The music thing is, so I was a jock to start this life.
Oh, yeah?
4 sports a year, dude, and a total closet jock as it is. Sports is my TV. It's real life drama. There's subplots. There's different cultures. And so because of that, I'm a Whitefish Bay High School graduate, very wide successes in sports. And I actually was cut from a couple of sports teams going into freshman year. I was short, okay? Was not an early bloomer, okay? Was a late bloomer. And because of it, went to a school in Whitefish Bay where it's like we were sporty and we were competitive and we were a tight-knit group of guys. And the weirdest thing happened where we get to freshman year in high school and almost the whole starting 5 on the freshman basketball team are all playing guitar. And I'm the last dude. It's just weird. And so we were jocks right down to the definition. Bully, what are you doing? What have you done for me lately? How good are you? Did you learn this? Hey, did you learn that Zeppelin song yet? I did. Or my teacher's this. So the competitive nature stayed with me. It carried through the sports thing. I leave sports. I turn to music and other activities. And then I become this little weird guitar player guy trying to take a sports mentality into the music world. And because of that, it just kind of stayed there. This weird fire that's brewing all the time. It's the weirdest thing ever. I wake up, it's there. You know, it is what it is. You get into a band. How good is your band? How good is this? Have you done this? What have you done that? Battle of the bands. And it just keeps going and going. And it's still going. Now, I'm not like nudging gears. You know what I mean? I have sold houses to half the guitar players in Milwaukee County in the last 10 years because we're amicable. But there's still a thing that's just like unspoken. So to hype yourself up to get into, nice long answer, to hype yourself up to get into like gig mode. Example, about 6-7 years ago, we went to Nashville to play this thing they have, CMA Fest. And it's like a conglomeration and homecoming of every top-notch country artist all over the country, national, regional, local. And you get an hour and a half to get up on stage, and your band has like this time and even less attention span from the general audience to make an impression. So it's just like you have to hype yourself up and train and practice and visualize and get yourself in the right headspace to moment. And also you have to be creative. So it's like you have to have this weird balance of left brain and right brain and motivation, but you can't be a jerk about it. It's all these strange balance things. And then you have to channel it into one lane and perform. The real estate world, same thing. I'm not as edgy because this is a small network of people, really. Milwaukee County, Waukesha County, neighboring counties. You see the same people, and it's just like, I'd like to remain as amicable as possible with other agents. Obviously, like I get KW from another agency, and all of those people were from other agencies also. So it's like you see the same people, you see the same networks all the time. But in terms of like bettering myself, that's the competition. Or bettering the relationships or being more knowledgeable is like I have an internal competition. I'm my own worst critic and I try and improve. I had a number of really great years at KW, and then when New Year's Day happens, I say, I've been done blank lately. Or you just scratch the surface. And it's just a functioning motivator for me to evolve.
Yeah.
So,
it sounds like burning passions. To me, it sounds like these are passions that you really love and follow, and they keep you going. You're self-motivated. That's incredible.
Yeah, they're in both music world and real estate world where it gets challenging. And, it says I'm not going to do this anymore. But then you have to ask yourself, I'm going to miss 50 things about it. And then you miss it. If your mind is taking you there, it's a natural progression to that's the part. That's just one way something higher is saying to you, you just have to be more resilient and you have to learn how to evolve. Could have rolled over when we were locked down, in 2020, but their way. And in the music world and the real estate world, we found ways. If we can get through that, I think you can get through just about anything.
So I have a bonus question. I was like, I had to have one for him. Or ask if you've ever auditioned for American Idol or The Voice.
Have I auditioned? Not for what was the last audition I had? Oh no, hold on. Let's bring it back. Speaking of 4 years ago, the band I was in 4 years ago paused because there was heightened, we'll call it sensitivity to the pandemic, and I get it. Another band reached out to me and they jumped on a 5-person Zoom call and had me shred at midnight because we were all weirded out by hours and change. They wanted me to join post-band. I said, yeah, I'll give it a shot. So they threw me some 80s and 90s songs and I auditioned over a Zoom call. But no, I've been lucky. I've just been literally asked to join groups. That is a smaller community, and I've been super lucky that way.
That's awesome.
Yep.
All right, sir. Well, I will give you back some time to your day. I really appreciate you taking the time with me.
Yep, for sure.
All right. Bye.
Talk to you later. Yes.
Yeah.